right? Not too many Democratic Socialists of America in that room. In fact, people were outright saying that they're not Democrats. And yet Republicans are so desperate to hide the fact that their own voters are lashing out against them that here's the lie they've concocted to tell themselves.
And now the Democrats are getting caught staging protests. Last week, the media latched onto a few town hall protests in Republican districts. Run-of-the-mill Republican voters allegedly yelling at congressmen about DOGE. But according to the Free Beacon, these weren't run-of-the-mill Republicans. They were Democrat activists organized by Soros-funded groups.
Well, that's convenient. Jesse Waters and right-wing media have simply decided that none of those in attendance at these town halls were Republicans, but rather just Democratic operatives. And so as a result, everybody can just disregard everything that happens there, which I should remind you is a similar strategy to what Republicans did in 2017 and 2018 when they held town halls that were flooded by angry constituents. And I'm sure those Republicans also wanted to believe that it was just the evil communist Democrats flooding into the building thanks to George Soros, until, of course, they lost the midterms by the biggest margin in modern American history. So if they want to just pretend that the only people who are upset about Elon and Doge and Americans losing their jobs every single day are liberals while they barrel ahead with one of the least popular political agendas in modern American history, we'll see how that works out for them. And it's not just Fox News either. Even Republican officials themselves are more than happy to glom on to this conspiracy theory.
I want to start with last week. Videos of protesters yelling at members of Congress went viral, right? But the content focused on the confrontation, not the why. Some of the people that hijacked those town halls are happy with the bloated status quo. They want the bloated status quo to continue. They don't want to get our country back on track. Yet Democrats are soliciting sob stories from bloated bureaucrats with six-figure salaries. Give me a break. Now, it's time for us to tell our story.
Sob stories is what these Republican officials have convinced themselves is what's happening here. Although we'll see if they're just as sympathetic to people losing their federal paychecks when they themselves get voted out. To that point, MSNBC put together a really important mashup of exactly who it was that was fired for no reason. And once you hear what they have to say, it's going to shine a light on exactly why these firings are so upsetting to the people in that very room.
I'm Oleg Shmura.
I am Dr. Ben Andrew.
My name's Cody Anderson.
My name is Katie Sandlin.
My name is Andrew Lennox.
My name is Nick Hand.
I'm Riley Ratcliffe.
My name is Jonathan Cammons. I oversaw cybersecurity for the VA.gov websites, and about a third of USDS, including me, were fired last week. Without people like me ensuring that VA.gov is secure, the private financial and healthcare data of Americans' veterans is at risk of being stolen, sold to the highest bidder, and used to harm people.
We are standing in Yosemite National Park. For the past 10 months, I was the custodial worker here. I picked diapers off the side of the road, toilet paper, beer bottles, cigarette butts, you name it, so you didn't have to see it.
And I served as the Chief of Safety and Emergency Management at the Philadelphia VA. This was a mission-critical role that ensured the health and safety of all those who entered into our facilities.
I used to be a NEPA coordinator for the Wrangell Ranger District of the USDA Forest Service, where I would coordinate environmental review for projects in and around the town of Wrangell, projects that are crucial to the town's economy and its people.
I moved from Alabama to Maryland to start my new job in genomics education and outreach at the National Institutes of Health. My job was to help educate students, teachers, and healthcare providers about genomics to improve patient care and develop the future scientific workforce.
I was a technologist at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for about a year and a half before I was fired last week. We were the ones making sure that you could use payment apps without being constantly scammed, that your sensitive financial data wasn't being collected and shared with shady companies, and that your data wouldn't be leaked in a data breach.
As the only aquatic ecologist at the largest reservoir in the United States, my job was mostly to monitor for water quality for recreational uses, making sure that when people are out boating or swimming, that the water quality is sufficient to keep people healthy.
Those are what the Republicans are mocking as sob stories. Americans doing important work, virtually all of them for less money than they get in the private sector. But apparently this is who the GOP's elected officials think aren't worthy of their paycheck. They'd rather heap money, again, onto the folks who align with their values, like Elon Musk, who's busy canceling contracts and awarding them to his own companies. See, that's somebody who deserves more money. The richest man in the world. Got it. So look, I know that everybody is looking for something to do as we agitate to save our democracy. This is a step we can all take right now. Show up at these town halls. Bring your friends and your family. Let your voices be heard. Tell these Republican officials how you feel. When Democrats hold town halls, show up to those too. Bring the energy. Show them that there is an appetite to fight back. Push them to be aggressive. Flood the offices of your Republican elected officials with calls. They log those calls. The most important thing right now is to stay engaged. Republicans made a bet that their only boss, the only person they're accountable to, is Donald Trump. That's where they fucked up. Their boss is the American people. It's those who elected them. It is their constituents in their districts across the country. And reminding them of that is striking the fear of God into them every single day. Before you go, first, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we're now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they're willing to cater to this White House. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a great way for me to be able to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's completely free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support my work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.